want you just to come and enjoy the journey with us. With our speakers, if they really could just come on stage. And please, when please bear with us, the program will run a little long, but it will be fun. It will be fun.
It will be massive.
Doctor? Is Dr. Lisa here? Oh, thank you. And in the book, when he teaches the Sunday, for Penal Barat
you in the wonderful name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Amen. Beloved, we greet you all and thank you very much for the welcoming and the introductions. On the program, as it said, that I will be opening in prayer, but as ministers, we work together within an ecumenical partnership with other churches. So I'm going to ask you not to open with a word of prayer. But because we are in Africa we sing. Whether it is a wedding, whether it is a funeral, whether anything we sing because we are Africa. And therefore join me. We praise your name.
From South African Council of Churches,
To come on, can I just ask Cassius and Sandra Kapola to come on stage and just be on standby? Can I also ask for the family representatives, Metandi Lamini, Limne Muzotata, Chwekeyagae, to please come forward and be here so that we can also keep it moving. Thank you so much. Doctor?
Ibulisa, family ya Chwekeyagae, ibulise bonke abakhona
sitio of Tswane to the province of Gauteng. Ngiyabonisa umsebenzi wokuhulumeni namhlanje ukuthi inambukele. I thought I should greet and welcome you in my mother tongue, because in moments like this, typically I would not be speaking any other language other than my mother tongue. My name is Tsotsi. Like I said, I've been assigned the responsibility of welcoming all of you to the State Theatre. I would like to thank each and every person who responded positively to our call to come and honor and celebrate the life of this young man. I first met him many years ago in 2005. I think he was 20 at the time, when he was actually one of the productions from the State Theatre that went to the Market Theatre. I think we can all agree that we were all enriched by his talent, by just having him around us. We were always richer, and I'm hoping that we don't get poorer as he is no longer with us, but that his legacy continues to enrich us. On behalf of the South African State Theatre, the Council of the South African State Theatre, the staff, the team, and everyone who's associated with putting on this production together, we would like to say welcome and thank you for, especially to the family, for allowing us to show our last respects and to honor Presley. His name was synonymous with the South African State Theatre. Like I said, in fact, like I said earlier, the first time I saw him was when he was acting in one of the productions, the State Theatre. The South African State Theatre was his home. Whenever he had the time, he would come here. In fact, I think his last public appearance or activity must have been here at the State Theatre on Saturday before he passed on. So, for us, it's also a very important moment to say goodbye to one of our own, a person who loved the theatre, who loved the people who worked at the State Theatre. And like I said earlier, we always felt richer whenever he is around. So, as the State Theatre family, we would like to say to the family of Chwekeyagae that Sinan Lobushulu Obunibele. Kodwa besiyacabanga siyathemba futhi ukuthi we will use this opportunity to celebrate and honor the life of this hero. In fact, earlier abafundisi mangabe besivulela sikhuluma ngeqhawe lamathawe. That is a perfect song for this person, because in Zulu we say Ishlabani, someone who not just Ishlabani because he is known all over the place, but he has actually achieved. So within a short space of time, because he was still young, I think the things that he has achieved in his short sort of life that he lived in this world will be a legacy that we will all be benefiting from, learning from, and also using it to not only just to grow the sector, but also to grow the country. The loss is not just for the family, the sector, arts, culture, and heritage sector has lost a gem, a person that we all look up to, and a person that all of us appreciated from all the corners of the country and the corners of this continent. People appreciated and celebrated his talent, and he was in a class of his own. We will miss him, but I'm hoping that we will use this opportunity to honor his memory, to celebrate him, to say he is still with us, and as I said, as the State Theatre family, we will continue to make sure that his memory is kept alive. So on behalf of the State Theatre, all I was supposed to say was welcome to the State Theatre, and let us celebrate and honor the life of our fallen legend. Thank you very much.
We're going to ask Netta Kirkland to come forward. And while she's coming forward, I'm still going to ask, I think this is a lady, Chwekeyagae, if she's here, to come on stage so that she will be next after this. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, Sanibonani. My name is Chwekeyagae. I am here to speak on behalf of the Kirk family. I'm going to read just a brief speech from the family. We are here to celebrate a life lived to the fullest. Presley's many accomplishments and talents shone brightly for all of us to see. He was an example all over the continent that it is possible to excel in arts industry. Presley was not a son-in-law to us, but a son in love to the Kirk family. He was a very humble person, respectful person, so much that he embraced all of us and he became one of us. We did not see him as a celebrity, but a brother, a family member, as we all know that he loved his family so much. As the Kirks, we would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to the Chwekeyagae family, friends, and colleagues. We are truly saddened by his sudden passing. Siyadililela nathi bokhekhe sihanjelwe nguPresley. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our in-laws who have been very welcoming and supportive, to our sister Shalene from the beginning and even up to now. We would also like to thank everyone who has extended a hand during this difficult time, to the families. To our sister Shalene, Sisi, this is a difficult time for you and the boys. Please know that the sun will indeed shine again. You have to lean on God and trust in Him. He is the shepherd. He will not leave you. I am one of Shalene's elder sisters, and Presley was a brother-in-law. So may our brother's soul rest in peace, and the perpetual light shine upon him. He has fought a good fight, and he has finished his race. We will miss him. We would always enjoy seeing him when he comes to Eswatini visiting the family. And definitely, that is in our heart. And his legacy will live on. Thank you very much.
Mosha Bakaiju, Mwakiti, Katsal, era Kiskolo Sabarolo, Mosha, Potona, Wanomulo, Gohai, Nana Saboni, a chair, like I said, I heard one of them calling me that it was a chair. Well, Onachona, the one who Bibi Nagaska, Ata, Arwata, Seje, I don't think Mosha, Sara Kubuki, Matavita, Onata, Atoka, Kubuki, and I asked the Kalasha. I see something of class highlights maybe a place of a certain standard, no, many like I said, more powerful than somebody, the Beza, Lina Proveza, total only creating Como se quase comparar na Ramsay, e total da literally go school or Tsotsi, it's one of the science schools and home back in Mafike. So the colleague star, we didn't want to call him Presley, we just said his press. Como se para uma pressa acende, and then Hansi National go get the Unalua Pinasura Beretiti. Bereti and so is Bereti, we hear tea, give us Lizia, Mama, Horo, Asna, Mofa. So say, Moshawi, the Basikumba, we could be Bereti. I will be good, I exactly how Mama's ability. You see, most of the time, are very direct. La Mosha, the Rally, Mosha, Mosha, Peter Oruka, 1984. That was the year that was declared the year of the youth. So that was the time when Mosha was born, hence we call him Mosha. With those little words, Mosha, Mosha, Mosha. Amakashe, Sisuya City Bad. Tell him our mother.
A musical tribute from Blacks and Simon. And in the meantime, we'll ask Mr. Gavin Holt, or ask Mayor Miteri Keto and Ken Ngosi to come on stage and be on standby so that when the musical item ends, they're also ready to give us their tribute. Thank you so much.
It's going to get deeper. This young man here, his name is Terrible. You can tell he's quite a youngster. He's the man that discovered the leading man. In case many of you do not know, Moshe was a born leading guy. Right? Every single show that we did from 1996, whether Jack in the Box, Midsummer Night's Dream, King here, and then the play that Gordon discovered when we were performing Hamlet, right here in the Momentum, was the one that then connected him to me, and then from there Kevin, you took over. So tell us how that experience was of discovering this excellent performer and actor, Chwekeyagae.
Good morning. What an amazing celebration of an amazing man. When the late Presley, many of you will know, our casting director on Tsotsi, first suggested that I audition Presley, I confess I had never heard of him. I didn't know him. But Rooney had seen him, I believe, in this theatre, and she could not take her eyes off him. And she said to me, you must see this young man. We were auditioning for Tsotsi. He was only, I think, 19, and he had never been in a film before. But she said what she saw and what I and so many other people came to see as we worked with him was that he possessed that very rare quality that defines really great acting. And what is that quality? It is an ego-free instinct for raw emotional honesty. Ego-free honesty. Presley intuitively understood how to move through a scene, moment by moment, by watching and listening with his entire being, not just his ears, but his body was listening, not only to his fellow actors, like the wonderful Kevin, but to his own inner vibration. Sanford Meisner once said that acting is behaving truthfully in imaginary circumstances. And that was Presley. He didn't show emotion, he allowed it to exist, honestly, vulnerably, in front of us. He didn't act. He listened, and he allowed the story of the character he was telling to just be seen through him. In a world where so much is fake, manufactured, overproduced, narcissistic, Presley's raw talent was real and humble and truthful. That's what made his performance in Tsotsi so unforgettable. He knew that acting isn't about being in the spotlight. It's not about being famous. It is about being truthful in a space that a cast and crew create together, a space of mutual support. Presley didn't perform for the camera. Rather, he just allowed us to witness what he was genuinely grappling with, struggling to find the soul of this young man that he was bringing to life. And in doing that, he gave Tsotsi a soul. He gave Tsotsi his soul. And so I want to reiterate something. I want to reiterate something that the Oscar that I was privileged to collect on behalf of Tsotsi was not awarded to me as the director. It was awarded to our film, to a collective effort, to everyone who involved themselves and gave themselves to that story. And no one gave themselves more than Presley. He carried the heart of the film without ever trying to steal one frame. He elevated all of us around him. And witnessing him reveal the humanity of Tsotsi, scene by scene, day by day, brought us all closer together, and we did our best work. I've not much more to say. And from this space of a shared ego-free creation, something that moved people all over the world emerged. Presley was seen, Alpha was seen by millions of people for its simple truth. Now, as South Africans, we know the dangers of division. We know the dangers of greed, of self-enrichment at the expense of others. Presley's work on Tsotsi reminds us of the power of unity, of empathy, of storytelling as a bridge. We are stronger, we are kinder, we are more creative, and we are more successful when we open our hearts to one another and we work side by side. Presley embodied that spirit. He brought dignity, decency, and humanity to a role that asked him to walk into darkness and to find light. He showed the world not only what South African cinema could be, but what we South Africans can do when we collaborate. Rest in peace, Presley. Thank you for it. You will be greatly missed. And to the family, my heart to you. He was a lovely man. Thank you very much.
I think this is a moment where Lorenzo was here. I mean, this is like he was a theater practitioner. I think it's just important just to note that, that this man also used to fill up stages. And today, as he's taking his last bow on the stage, it's also another full house. So it's a great impression. How many lives this man touched with his talent, and it was just not only just on screen. Because Lorenzo was just fun to him around, he loved everybody, and everyone who's here, I'm sure, has a story about my time in the ways. Because he gave himself so much, to all of us. And I think also just today, it was just important to acknowledge the man that started our careers at the Presley, who's the artistic director of the State Theatre, who was just ambitious enough to start a kids training program for Northwest Council. And Moshe was the first one, another Kenya after. But it built so much that when he came and met Machozi, and Machozi, you come from Mafkau, in the rural areas. It was tough, right? To enter this place, Machozi, because of that, who are these Mafkau boys who was one? So we are very grateful to Chwekeyagae, because then Chwekeyagae means it's not professional, But at the time, what was really also about Tsotsi is that then another guy who started the Motswako movement, which was Taso, then worked on that track, right? Motswako and Afaya signing, And he got to really work with some great actors, and then that was totally Oscar. So Terry, you share the stage, you said global stage with this man. I think it would be great just to also get
Good afternoon, everyone. This opportunity to speak about someone who changed the course of my life. Presley was more than a colleague. He was part of my beginning. And somehow, the end of a beautiful full circle moment in my career. We worked together on my very first film, Tsotsi. We were just kids back then. Young, hungry, and full of dreams even we couldn't articulate. And yet there he was, carrying the weight of that story with a quiet intensity that left everyone breathless. His brilliance catapulted my career into unimaginable heights. I don't say that lightly, but being part of Tsotsi opened doors that I didn't know existed. And almost 2 decades later, I had the honor of working with him again on Inamba Josie Road. This time as a director trainee, and once again he was the lead. Still powerful, still generous, and still utterly magnetic. Presley made history. He made us proud, and he made us laugh.
I'll never forget during the Tsotsi Oscar press tour, a journalist asked if he'd consider changing his name to make it easy for Hollywood. And without missing a beat, he said, if Hollywood can say Arnold Schwarzenegger, they can say Presley. And if they can say Tsunami, they can say Tsotsi. That was Presley. Sharp, unapologetic, and always representing where he came from, with pride. He was our friend, he was our giant, and our golden thread, staring Saboman Tower. Robala Kahozo Presley, you broke my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. And then when I just spoke, I said, you know, most funny is the daughter. Baba Mzema means I'm going to prior raps. Then, you know, you come and embrace the Tobias of Sati Kamana Mojosi. So, Makezo, that I'm going to manage.
It's all. Mama, Usagi Bana, cousins, everybody, Askisi. I met Presley when that young man who's now grey, and I'm grey, did a movie called Tsotsi. And you know, everybody goes on about Tsotsi, it was his first movie. It was also my first movie, believe it or not. Believe it or not, it was also my very first movie. I was doing a lot of television, you know that. But I was never going to allow you to look at me and think this one. Because I got an ego, you know what I'm talking about? That's one man who had an ego. That boy liked to play. That boy believed in what he was doing. So when I met him as a young man, I met Terry, I met Zenzo, I met Tsotsi, and I was playing with these young human beings who just loved what they were doing. And then he carried the whole story. And with your help, I must say, he carried the whole story. I cannot imagine as a 19-year-old having to sit off, acting one scene with Pacheli Mufuke, 9-9 like that. Or Namita Pumulwa, or Rapala Sipimu, or Ian Roberts, or GP. You know, he was young and he trusted himself, he trusted his instincts. I think there was a big uproar in Soweto at some point when Tsotsi came out and they're like, hey, Tsotsi don't sound like that. I can imagine our Tsotsi from Soweto was sound like Zola I tell you, Tsotsi behind, come on, here. That's how people loved him, and that's why people fell in love with that character. That's why some people really connected to the character because of that guy. Very authentic, right? As long as you put Ukulu, Jesus, Bazan, Sizo Agre, Sizo Fuga here. Sure. Open don't find a sample. Sure. Open Petri don't find a sample. Sure. But Petri shall find a sample. Mam Konichi find a sample. By name was of fire. Sizo Agre, as long as you know Ukulu Pampi. As long as you know Pampi, you all be okay. But all the actors that have worked with Presley, because I promise you right now, a lot of people are jealous that they have worked with that man. Because it was such an easy thing to work with. And talking about that, I can see Herbert and JP there. Do you know that Donovan Marsh, who directed Number, wanted me to play that role at place? Who convinced him otherwise? Who did? I was supposed to play that role. It was you having it. Yeah, you never liked me. But he did a marvelous job. He did an amazing job. And thank you, Stu, thank you, you guys were there all the way. Siamo, condolences, Alan. Please, shout out one more time to President High and to Munindi. A big round of applause.
Harry, I'm not sure. That's probably true. Maybe you are supposed to play the part. I have to do these things that, people normally do at funerals, as you know, where somebody has passed away and knows something to pass. That kind of right. So he just there with me. As I ask for registration NG 57ZZGP, level 2, -2. Can you kindly just go down your car? You've left your light, so we don't want to be pushing cars, while we are mourning. It's going to be very difficult. So I'd like to also just to call on Stu Momchari and his drum material that we're going to get some on number. So these youngsters, I trained them to act when I was still in exile in 1976. So the first one to come to my class was Stu. And then he and Israel. I did pretty well. So gentlemen, please, MG57ZZ, -2. Please don't forget. So gentlemen, I got say that my easy. Yeah, original TP. Straight to the point. You are all welcome. I acknowledge everyone who's here. Political members, colleagues, superstars. I know all the superstars, they wish this was my funeral. Yeah, but let me challenge the nation. We need to organize this kind of festivals to honor people whom we believe have done very well in this world. You don't have to wait for somebody to depart. Yeah, I wish you can organize a festival for me like this one. And the others. Yeah, but rest in peace, Chwekeyagae, condolences to the family, the kids, the wife, and everybody. In closure on my side, we met during the casting of Tsotsi. That's when I met Monique Lee. And then I was also auditioning, but I didn't get the main character. Then I was supplying the talent. All the kids in the pipe are my kids. I've been running a school of acting in Alexandria. So Monique asked me a question and said, how do you know when there's a big film in the country? Because I'm the #1 here.
Then I said, I believe in faith. Everything I was born for will come to me. And she said, I'm going to tell the director to put you on the film now. It was also my first film. After the film, I hunted for Presley to become my friend. He was also wearing the jacket from the set. Then I introduced him to other platforms, and then we worked together. Thank you very much.
My first film with Presley was in Number. I was just thinking, all this time, the first time I met him, I met someone that I admired from watching Tsotsi. I'm seeing him on the stage, and to work with him is a masterclass of its own. When you work with someone who you admire, it's something else, because a part of you wants to prove to them that you are capable and you are worthy of being in their space. And with Presley, there was none of that. We checked immediately just by sitting down. I remember even when we were discussing the script, building in Number, how he saw the idea of the police force, because it was about that. We wanted to show that, yes, there is corruption in this country. We know that. But there are good cops. And we wanted to show that we as artists are accountable, so are they. So we wanted to tell a really good story about two good cops, which was something that you never see. And Presley, how he thought about shoes made me really think about why I'm doing what I'm doing. He has a way of making you understand the moments in each frame, and it's a gift, that. And for him to be able to explain each frame is another, it's a godly gift, and it's a skill that one develops in time. And he was young, he's actually younger than me, but I always called him a good man, because he paved the way for me. And coming here today, I wasn't just thinking about Presley, but I was thinking about his son. I was thinking about what it is to lose a father, and not to have a father at home, which is something now that most of us grew up with. I'm fortunate I don't have that. My father's still alive, so I had time to talk to him about this moment. And one thing I want to say to you, young man, yes, you lost a father, now you have to take up his shoes. Don't be bitter. Don't be angry. Don't be sad. I feel those emotions. It's on you now. You have to carry this family. Help your mother. Help her. She needs you now. But they're here. They're here for you. I lost a friend, yeah. I know, sometimes you work with a lot of artists and you think to yourself, yo, I deserve another mood, you know. And Presley gave us hell. You know, AJ, he gave us hell, but he always showed up. And I want you to show up. You're gonna hear a lot of things about your father, of course, you're gonna hear this and that, but he was a man. He was a man, and he was a good man. I want you to hold that. He was a good man. He paved the way for us and many other artists. And I know a lot of people are going to miss you. Be cold, breezy. And I urge the production company not to give up on it. Keep playing it. Make another season. Make another season for him. Give him cities. I eat him cities. Give him cities. And those actors on that show are giving it everything. They're giving it everything. Yeah, very, like I said, but let's do it for him. And yeah, hopefully, he never done this with ways. Yeah, something did. So, to the family, I pray for you every day. I keep you in my prayers. Please keep God in there. Young man, hold strong. Know that your father was loved. He was loved in this ministry. He gave everything. And I'm proud. The fact that I can stand here and just talk like this about somebody, I'm proud that I was able to tell them that I love them, that I love working with them, that I'm excited every day just to be in the stage, just to be in his presence and to work the script. I was always proud. But yeah, I was stupid. That's for sure. Why stupid by everybody? It was always amazing to work with them. And to the family, thank you for giving us the time. It's not easy, Mom, it's not easy, I know. And you gave up a lot. But you had to take it for us. It was great. It's still great. But thank you. Thank you for holding it. You're carrying on holding it for us. Thank you so much.
Whoever the ladies is there, or the minister, if you can see a future spokesperson as a culture. I thought the monologue was to Mama Tima Germa Masu. Tenaciously gave me which is a pulling you far among the man. When the mother pulling the which we part when I am leader, we part. I'd like to call Host Victoria from MLA before Pata Pata comes on stage. Kekopele Debokomatawa from MultiChoice, head of local scripted content. And Dr. Patu Makwarela, executive producer from Cheta, to come on stage while the performances are still happening so that once the performance is again, you'll follow the monologue. But how's everybody feeling today? Like, are you feeling sad? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling sad? Very lonely. I was like, I don't know why. Patu, Mr. This was the one producer who was also just brave enough to cast Mesa on the river, and season to season we got to see for Presley. And then the heads of China to make sure that you see the seasons coming back. So give us about that DSTV. Our to DSTV account. So also just want to say to all the colleagues from the industry, guys, thank you very much, all of you for showing up. I see it. I said, it's tackling me, man. It's tackling me, man. It's not all about. Guys, we have to celebrate your age, right? Like I started today. Let's bring the vibes, right? Dr. Makawale, what are you? Pata-pata. I go Shapaka music. After Pata music, Victoria, there's a Pata. Kalani. Tango. Pata-pata.
to all, Charlene and the kids, Mama, friends, industry colleagues, fellow artists, and everyone. And I'm here on behalf of Muni and Associates. We are the agency that represented Presley. We gather here today with full hearts to honor the life and extraordinary legacy of Presley Chwekeyagae, a shining light in South African cinema and theatre, and whose artistry left an unforgettable mark on all of us. Presley's journey into the arts began early. At just 10 years old, he stepped into a world of performance through children's drama classes at the Magana Arts, Culture and Sports Foundation. Even there was a spark in him, a rare combination of instinct, vulnerability, and a raw talent that couldn't be ignored. That early foundation shaped a career filled with depth, power, and an unshakable connection to the human condition. In 2005, his life took a turn he could have never imagined. While casting for Tsotsi, our beloved founder, the late Muni discovered Presley while starting right here at the State Theatre. She saw something extraordinary in him, a depth, a stillness, a quiet strength, and she knew that he was the one she was looking for. Muni didn't just cast Presley. She took him under her wing, she nurtured his gift, shielded his spirit, and helped him usher into the international spotlight with love and fierce belief in his talent. The film went on to win the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film in 2006, the first South African film to ever do so. Presley's performance in Tsotsi was raw, moving, and unforgettable. It opened the world's eyes not just to his talent, but to the richness of South African storytelling. Presley was never a one-role wonder. He poured himself into every project with passion, authenticity, to name a few, from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, to The River, and recently Congolese, to his powerful performances on stage in classics like Hamlet, Julius Caesar, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Presley showed us time and again the full range of what it means to be human. He was also more than an actor. He was also a writer and director. He co-wrote the acclaimed stage play Relativity with Paul Krugboom, later published STE Publishers, and most recently directed the award-winning Cell No. 4. Those works weren't just performances. They were calls for reflection, for empathy, and for change. And yet, for all the recognition and acclaim, Presley walked a path that so many South African artists know well. One marked by uncertainty, sacrifice, and perseverance. The hustle, the pressure, the balancing act of passion and survival. Presley knew it all too well, and he carried that weight with grace. Presley knew what it meant to navigate between theatre productions, auditions, seasons of series, all while raising a family and building a legacy. He knew the pressure of being the face of success in an industry where the work isn't always steady and the rewards don't always reflect the sacrifice. And yet, through all of that, he stayed true to his purpose. He carried the South African stories with pride and conviction. He brought his full self, his pain, his passion, his humor, his hope to every single role. He created spaces for new artists to rise. His legacy isn't in what he made, it's in what he made possible. As we remember Presley today, we honor his massive talent, his courage, and his unwavering commitment to his craft. He was one of ours, deeply, proudly, and though he left the stage, his voice, his impact, and his spirit will live on. Presley, we thank you for your work, for your passion, Your MLA family will never forget you. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I speak on behalf of the multi-choice group. This sounds like it's a share a lot, but we've really lost one of our family members. He's been a part of the business for almost 10 years now, right? And the magnitude of outpouring of grief for the loss of Presley tells you everything you need to know about him. We are here to celebrate his life. And the fact that we are one of many celebrations happening is a testament to the kind of individual that he was. The world met Presley in 2006 and went on to learn the word Tsotsi on the world stage, a name that had become only South African, but he took that word and took it all over the world. After he had done that and adorned many stages and plays, he entered the multi-choice orbit as Tuso Opulence Mkwe, otherwise known as Chwekeyagae, right? The Korbisi, what he is. He played the role with such vigor and dedication and an effortless style that he literally changed the lexicon of a country, right? Alcoholics became known as bearists. Alcohol became known as beer, as bear. People who like to sleep around like Charles, I don't know if I could say that. That he even made his way into the corridors of Parliament, where people were referred to as sleepists. and it's testament to what he's done, right? Very few people can have such an impact, an elastic impact on culture that is echoes through the way that society conducts itself. There's going to be a generation that doesn't understand why we say babies and why people are Charles and it's. And that is testament to the legend that Presley is. Presley was one of the most genuine people you meet. I think you guys have heard that, about how you met him and there wasn't an ego. This takes me back to the last time I briefly saw him. We were having a rap party for the show Presley, right? So for those in the industry, a rap party is usually, we're not in the industry, is when we usually come together after a production, because productions are not easy. They are fun, but they're not easy. And we usually have a celebration, right? It was a Friday afternoon, and the party was going, people were having their bags and everything, but the party really didn't start until he showed up. And I remember he rocked up late to his own party. And those who said will understand, it's not you. Rocked up very late to his own party. And the party really began. And you could see that everybody was waiting for him to come before they could start. Candace, my eye passes you. And I remember the last picture I took of him was with you. And you were saying, I'm a kid. So for those who don't know, Candace has been working with Presley since the days of Tsotsi, and is one of the executive producers of Presley and The River. So they have over a 20-year relationship. And the last picture on my phone that I do have of Presley is with you, Candace. You just crossed my eye. And to show his impact, he changes people's name. Tango's character is Walena, but forever people hates him, Karelo is Karaza, and I think people who were Karelos will find themselves being called that, But as I say, he was one of the most genuine people you'll meet, and people love being around him. And despite his success and the impact he made on the world, he remained the same down-to-earth kid from Chwekeyagae. He would speak to anyone and everyone, and his approachability must have been a heavy burden to bear at times, but he never showed it. Like Presley, like all of us, he was multifaceted, complicated, but he was also an example of the best of humanity,
living life with joy, humor, integrity, and passion, and a style that was uniquely Presley. A man named after his mother's favorite singer, himself a larger-than-life personality who found fame early on in life. He was always destined for greatness. People dream of leaving the legacy that Presley does after a lifetime of work. He managed to do that in 40 years. It's a travesty that he will not be here for 40 more years to amplify and build on that. But he did so in such a short space of time. Millions of people say what they say, walk how they walk, and laugh the way they laugh because of Presley. The world is a poorer place without him. And again, our sincerest condolences to his friends and family. Samaya Senze Presley. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think like so many people here, I first became aware of Presley, I think it's in 2005. They just finished shooting Tsotsi. And State Chemical, I think, and Helen Khan, who was part of the distributing, came to our film school. They were looking for test audience. That's when they play you the film before it's released. So we went all the way to Woodmead, I think that's where the head office was. And they played that film. And what a film it was. I remember that moment with the condensed milk and the hands on the baby's face. And his performance. And little did I know that Gideon and I would get an opportunity in 2017 when MultiChoice decided that they wanted to open Compact Plus. And they took these new writers who had never produced anything and said, we want you to give us a telenovela for 8 p.m. It's a gamble that had never been done before. And we started looking for actors. And really it was a time when South Africa was changing. There was a certain agitation on the youth. We are now questioning, has the promises of liberation been fulfilled? And we and I decided that we wanted to create a show that talks about the issues of inequality so many years after democracy. And we looked for all the actors. It was easy to find Mushi, obviously. And we wanted someone to play against her son. And we looked to so many talents and we just couldn't find the right one that sets the screen on fire. And I think we're heading towards shoot date. And somebody in MultiChoice says, why don't you try Presley? And he came in and he literally changed our lives. He literally changed our company. He literally changed that show. Presley set that screen on fire. Yes, I will admit the question that people always want. Did we write most of the words? No, we didn't. He took our scripts and interpreted it in a way we never could have imagined. He represented something in South Africa at that time that needed to be seen. A youthful hunger and a desire for change. And he encapsulated that. And really, I stand here representing my Tsotsi family. There's so many of them here. We've walked this journey with Presley for close to 10 years. I think everybody has Shanice's number at the company. And she's part of the family. So if we can't get him and we don't know where he is, everybody's like, call Shani, she will know where we can find him. Really, we are devastated. We are heartbroken. We've lost one of our children in the company. And in gratitude and in love, we will learn to accept that the curtain has finally came down. The greatest actor that has ever lived. Thank you.
Us, and we were John and Sambo, but in the meantime, I'll also ask Ms. Harriet Gershon, the JP Peter and Chwekeyagae to come on stage so that when the record finishes, you guys can come forward and give your tribute. Thank
was created by a remarkable ensemble of artists, including Presley. And that's when we first met him in 2012. The character he created, Shoes, was unforgettable. It was the moral heart of a string of projects. Shoes was hapless, he was shy, he was quiet, desperately trying to do the right thing in an increasingly lawless and crazy world. Whereas Chitty, who was played by Stumo, was loud and flashy, Shoes was still and unassuming. Presley brought a deep humanity to this role, as well as a quiet charm and humor. And these qualities can also describe Presley when the camera stopped rolling. Charming, quiet, honest, still, and deeply, deeply humane. We have lost an immense talent, and we are all the poorer for it. Our deepest condolences to the family, his friends, and his colleagues. Our love to you all.
Dumelang, everybody. My name is JP. I'm also a producer of Physical Pictures. I worked with Presley on the original Inamanama film in 2012, and then later on a TV series, and on the sequel that followed. The making of that first film was an unforgettable experience. We had very little money, but we lacked in resources we made up for in art. The cast and the crew became like a family, drawn together by the intensity of the shoot and the passion we all shared for the story. I remember worrying about Presley. Here was someone who had starred in an Oscar-winning film just a few years earlier, and we were asking him to work under very tough conditions with none of the comforts that actors usually get. But my concern was misplaced. Presley was gracious, committed, and humble. He gave everything to the role of Shoes. And what a character Shoes became, largely because of Presley. He brought warmth, humor, and a deep humanity to the part. He made the choice to let Shoes speak a mix of languages, grounding the character in the real world and making him instantly relatable to the audiences. So yes, I buy that part of him adding to the script a lot. Presley had a rare gift. He could express complex emotion in the simplest, most honest way. Over the years, I came to know him as a generous performer and a true collaborator. Always approachable, always willing to share his craft and uplift those around him. To his family, to the friends, and everyone who loved him, my deepest condolences. Presley will be missed, but his legacy lives on in every frame that he graced. Kia leboha.
I've never seen food just not on the list. When our priest is going on, you get the way we dress. Okay. I know some other people are on set. But I always Chwekeyagae, Mabana. I've seen one in Masemuka in the crowd. G8, Salute, Swimming Boy, Brendan Daniels. Another friend of ours is not here because he may come with the singer's flu. We have stayed as the spokesperson of the family, Mr. Skolta. I saw Masoja, Caesar, Kelly's. You are acknowledged. Everyone is acknowledged. Thank you, Salute.
Good day, everyone. I greet you all in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm PJ. I am a director, and so before I start talking a little bit about Presley, I want to acknowledge his family, his real family, and secondly, I want to acknowledge his actor family. So can I ask all the actors in the room to please stand up? this family, the actors, the directors, and the producers in the house. I don't think I'm the right person to be up here, but I think Candace would have been up here, Candace Tender, I think Paddy could have been up here, or any one of his family on the river who have been with him for the last 5 years and now for Breezy. But we are in pain, and that's why I'm chatting to you today. Let me start off by saying that Presley was a thief. He was a thief. Nobody stole the scene. Absolutely nobody stole the scene the way Presley did. The acting fraternity, let me quickly give you 2 examples. I will start off by saying we are introducing a new family on the river. We've got a lot of pressure from Channel to make this episode epic. We are at a bank, the abandoned bank. We've got one particular person in a bomb suit that takes 2 hours to get in and 2 hours to get out, which means that if that person needed to go to the loo, does it in the bomb suit. We have got 20 stunt people all over. We have got armorers on set. We have got bystanders watching. We've got the police. We've got everybody you can possibly think of. A total of about 300 people on set, not forgetting guns and new actors and old actors. And then the AD comes up and says, oh, don't forget, we've got one scene to shoot, just one scene to shoot up in the office. And it's where Kobrisi and family meets the bank manager. And we all go, oh, gosh. So we run upstairs, we set up the camera, and it's the first time I got to work with Presley. And I thought, come, let's just quickly shoot this and then we go down to the action. Well, the cameras roll, and if you ever get to watch that episode, which is still on television, of course, the scene is actually stolen by him, because he's pretending, as he does, to be the richest man in the world, and asking the bank manager, do I get some champagne because I'm getting a black card? Showing off about it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take you to another scene in which almost every South African that is struggling and in pain can understand. A scene where he uses everything. And all we do is we say to him, what you're going to do, we call it blocking for those of you that are not in the industry. We gave him a simple blocking. You're just going to pack this box here, that packet away, and this away, and then you're going to sit. And then he just gave that humble nod that he generally does. And in the next 2 minutes, if I tell you, a crew and a cast that has been together for so many years, he sat down, didn't say a word, and had every member of our crew in tears from a man that lost everything. That is magic. That is something I'll end off by saying the following. For those of you that are in the industry of being creative, you know we have that wonderful logo of the comic timer on the one side and the tragedy on the other. You know that logo of drama. And Presley was somebody that absolutely embodied that. He was a performer. He had the smile on the one side, and on the other side, he had deep tragedy, deep pain. And so I just want to bring it back to the cross. You know, recently I've been looking at the cross and going, why is this so significant in our lives? And it's because we are meant to open up our arms and reach out to each other and support each other. But guess what? We are also supposed to look up. For a person like Presley and those performers in the audience that give and give and give of yourself, you need also to be filled. And that's where the cross plays such an important role. So I leave you with one thought. Presley was a thief. He was a thief that stole the scene, but he was a Robin Hood because he gave to other actors to give back to him when he performed. Presley was a thief, and my only hope is that he is very much like that thief on the cross. And I know somewhere in heaven, you know there's a telenovela, Jamie Bartlett, Michelle, Connie, and there comes Presley walking in with that iconic gangster walk from Tsotsi.
He was a thief. I know, he was my thief. But I just want to take this moment to also say, Mama, Charlene, thank you for giving us Presley. Thank you that Presley could go home to you. Artists die when they don't have a home. And a home is not four walls. A home is people inside that place waiting for you to come home. That is what fills us up. Nothing will fill up a performer except the people that love him or her for who they are. And with that, I call on the Shalati Mahori and Kabelo to come and give us some music. And while they're coming on stage, I'm also going to ask Bikujo Masiba, I'm going to ask Tabiso Ramatsela, Matseko Sokobi, Butumele Sokobela to come on stage so that when the song finishes, ladies, don't be shy. This is your moment. Babes, when you're called, sing. Show what God gave you for free. Please. But to the people that let's go, please come on stage so that you can give your truth as soon as they finish singing. Thank you.
How
intshwarele matseba masprograma ngwana mme Sello Peterson. Okay, put that Sello. Huh?
1 and 2 minutes.
How many? What's the which one? Oh, it's you. But the woman of the so much guys, I hope you enjoyed the music. When we worked all night trying to get the choir to sing very nicely. Enjoyed the music so far? So we good? No, we're very close to wrapping it up. So just bear with us, man. Keep up our work. What kind of confidence of fun?
Dumela. Ke dumedisa ba losika. Ke dumedise le batho kaofela. But ke lebena lenyane haholo. But in that time, can I just request to the ambassadors at SAYM kaofela di tla mo pele? Orange, Zenzo, Fifi, Kupan, if you are here, also please join us. And all the SAYM family, I will be very short. As they are walking up, this is a very sad moment to us because the person that we got to know very well is no more. And I think for the family, sometimes when things like this happen, you are, because of the surrounding, you are forced to say it's okay. I want to say to the family today, it's also okay to say it's not okay. Because the pain that you are feeling may be deeper than us standing here. But we want to thank you for the life that you have given to us. Yeah, Presley. And then you used to call me B. I just know. I cannot lie B. I know I knew what I need to do. I just remember one moment when Stack sprayed and you were supposed, we were having fun until around 5 a.m. And I was like, do you mind going to sleep at least for these 3 hours so that you are able to do what we have called you here to do? And then he looked at me and said, I knew I would tell her. God, no. And then you will not understand. When I'm fed up of hell, it's wrong. So this is the kind of person that we worked with. You know, can we just have a round of applause? We are not talking about the nominee for the Oscar. We're talking about the Oscar winner. If we don't celebrate our own, no one will. And what he has told us, he respected his art, and that is why I'm not ashamed to stand here and talk about him and have these ambassadors with us here, because he has shown us that it's possible. If it's in your genes, it's in your blood, you have passion, you can do it. In closure, I need to just indicate, when the country went on shutdown for COVID-19, we sat down around the table with these ambassadors, including him, and we said, he was asking a question. If the country is on a shutdown, what is happening to that person who is always at the corner begging for something, and then at the end of the day, whatever they give is what they're going to eat? Because it's 11:05. He said, let's do something. And we went out there and we were distributing food parcels. He never cared about his status. He cared about the well-being of the next black person. May his soul rest in peace.
Nyara ukila rawa tawa kuasense. Tata. Oh, alright, talk. That's all he did. That's all he did. They go over the colleagues from the river. When he introduced the world to Kobrisi. You know, Castellan, you would swear they were family. You would swear they were family, and that's just the beauty of acting when you just bring a character that is written on the screen and you bring it to life. Now, I'm going to say so I'd like to call you guys just to give us a remembrance of Leonora Laro and the faithful, the only faithful one, Tabi, Donya, young leader, young force. So I'm doing. Hey,
Alright, let's go. I played Chwekeyagae's son on the river. Yeah, I did. Man, I miss him so much. I remember the first time I got the call. It was so hard for the person to tell me, like, yo, bro, like, what that place? What's up? It's like, what do you mean? We the guy. It's like, bro, he's dead. I feel like it's so unfair. And I regret it so much. Because as much as not my father, he's my dad, man. That man raised me. That man raised me, he took care of me. When things got hard on sets, on youngins, or blood lazy, he would call me, make sure I'm okay. He'd be like, boy. I know I don't express myself a lot, but I got you. I got you, and I want you to know that I'm going to be here, right here, with you 24/7. For those that have experienced that best on set, I don't think I found a nice light check. I don't know if I need. Very nice, man. Come to the nice. You know, she oh, this is my table. And just when I see her in the eyes for the first time after such a long time, it's like, man, God, you've just given us at least 2 more seasons with him. 3 more. This is what I have to say, Papa. A leader has fallen. We all gathered here to celebrate the life of the leader during these difficult times. I've worked with Papa for 4 to 5 years. From the age of 16. To tell the truth, the thought of me not being able to see him ever again, or appear on my TV screens, or even call me, or even bump into him at random places, my heart sinks. Death is so cruel. Sad thing about death is it is so unpredictable. He was full of life. Every time I see your name on the scripts, I used to laugh because I knew it was going to be a good day. As much as a lead has fallen, a legend was born. One that brought an Oscar award to South Africa. One one that gave me a reason to continue acting. The reason why I'm so hard on myself is because of that man, because all I wanted was his approval at my work. And to hear from other people right after he did that you admired me, you loved me, you watched me, you scrutinized every move I made. You see, I miss you so much. I love you so much, Papa. Until we see each other again. Thank you guys so much. Let's go.
Greetings to my colleagues, family, friends, other friends, Mapitori, South Africa, Dumelang. Everyone is gathered here today. It seems like us affiliated, but someone's missing. I will begin with a scripture on 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7. The title of the chapter is Treasures in Jars of Clay. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. We are afflicted in every way, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Always carrying in the body the death of Jesus Christ, so that the life of Jesus may be manifested in our bodies. I'm still not okay. I still don't understand why we're here, why this occasion, why this day, why so young. I am touched and heartbroken. My name is Masako Sokobi, and I have had the privilege of being chosen to be part of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create a body of art that had me working hand-in-hand with Africa's greatest talent, Presley Chwekeyagae being one of them. And I had no idea what the universe had in mind when I was selected to be part of a cast and a phenomenal crew, the show called The River. A first of its kind, well-seasoned and exceptionally executed, well ahead of its time as well. When production began in 2017-2018, I had done some work as a kid, but none compared to the greatness that was the show. And in hindsight, it was the universe's way of preparing me to begin to step into my own greatness that I didn't know existed inside of me. And the timing of it all is the evidence we see today. Everything and everyone worked together for good. I had previously done some work, and at that point, little did I know that the short times that we had spent on the show, they would give me memories that would last a lifetime, an imprint never to be forgotten. The kind of work that we do as artists requires an intricate dedication all the way through as an actor, a player, a crew, or anything else in between. And in order for the script and the pages to come alive, without applying your soul, it's not going to happen. To execute a great story that stays winning hearts of many, night in and night out, the amount of thought and heart pouring into any project is commendable. How our brains work as artists and bringing light to a show that doesn't exist into existence is beyond the world's wonder, but our brains as thespians are capable to transport that into a believable story that touches hearts. The man who has brought us here today had immense abilities to live in his head and make any story happen. Without saying too many words, he was a great talent, a gentle giant, a gem, and a very gifted human being walking amongst us. He was a true gentleman and a leader. He was a starseed, and he knew exactly how to navigate anything. Whatever he touched, it turned into gold.
The first few weeks of working together was nothing out of the ordinary, but there was something beyond what normal colleagues or professionals would experience. There was something that kept us bound and later turned into family. The craftsmanship was impeccable from Presley. We all felt obligated to pour and to minister deeply with our characters, whether through laughter, through emotion, or even just pure rage. That's what thrilled the audience, and a collective success the show was, which resulted in a very big cultural reset, as we all know. I think the casting directors, channel, or whoever was there really selected a crazy bunch of people in a room and just said, go ahead, make the room explode. Presley charisma made the days really short or super long. He was capable of anything. If I were to talk in detail about the man that we are bidding farewell to, I think we'd sit here for 3 days straight, or he would come here and keep us here for 3 days straight to talk about himself. He was a mad scientist. He was highly gifted, very talented, sometimes underutilized. He was a phenomenon. He was dedicated to his work, staying true to his roots. He was proud of himself, being proud of coming from the Northwest. He was never camera shy and willing to push himself. I think he was fueled by a force that only he had met, something that we had not seen. I spent many long days and nights with him. We shared meals together. And one thing about him, joy came in the morning. He would wake up in the morning and choose to be happy, choose to be joyous, choose to love his work. It was hard to hide his joy, sometimes in serious situations. He had a good heart and made it easier to get the job done. Without dictating anything or anyone, I can proudly say that Presley made me feel seen. Presley qualified a lot of my dimensions that I would probably hide, but he made me feel seen. He valued the crazy side of me, he valued my craft, and I would often say that he stirred the gift inside of me, because he was a great man like that, very humble, always willing to collaborate. Without saying a lot, he would just say to me, stand next to me, Mwana. You will know what to do. Just stand next to me. I can truly attest and say that God was in that room, God was in that studio, God was in that script. Everything worked together for good. Our mother came, she made things worse because she was just as crazy. Our other cast members, the Fever Gang, they made things worse, just as crazy. Noctula, the on-screen wife, just as crazy. And it was a time to be alive, and it was a time that could never be repeated again. The universe had predestined every moment for greatness, and with that, I want to extend my gratitude towards our wonderful EPs, Atu and Wade, and the rest of the leadership, Percy, Candace, ladies in production, our directors. I want to say thank you for your leadership, for believing in us. Thank you for allowing us and giving us liberty to do what we do best. And I think whatever happened on the river, it might not happen again. The magic that was there, it might not happen again. It was divine and it served its purpose. And I want to say that Presley, thank you for your magic. He knew his people, he was selfless in nature, he served wholeheartedly, he knew his tribe, and I think destiny found him and he was obedient. He made me very upset, but I could not be mad at him for long. I truly, truly am blessed to have been welcomed by him as a sister. I am blessed to have worked with him. And I want to say to Shalane and the kids, the mother, thank you, my sister. I'm proud of you. You loved me. Thank you to Mama for sharing us with him. And to the kids, I want to say, please enter the Lord's rest. When you go at night, say, Lord, I enter your rest. When you wake up in the morning, say, I enter your rest. And I want to say good night to Presley. It feels like someone's gonna call cut and it's a dream, but it's not. So good night to my brother.
Lucia Maglabo. The original OGs. We're going to play a snippet from a play called Silent Voice, which was directed by Presley. This is a play where these gentlemen here were playing criminals that did an armed robbery, and they were on the run. Presley was playing Charlie X as the lead. And Ramona Chwekeyagae, we had to run for 45 minutes on that show, on stage. And I remember was saying initially for Opola Together, I think it was that injection area malaria. We were supposed to run 4 rounds, so that thing will get you so drowsy that you didn't remember what actually you were supposed to do. So running all around, we were supposed to hit, round number 4 and then I thought it's supposed number 5. Number 6. Charlie! And I don't even think we finished the show was I think the show we only could do like 15 minutes. Rashadi's TV, come back. And I remember we were performing at the market theatre. So Presley said when I actually before the show. Now that's not the show that you like, watch on stage, it runs, After let's ask for a more. Play you on. That's how I am. I was teaching about So we used to know him as like the king of improvisation. He was absolutely excellent. I'm sure you would see on the river. Most of those lines is up the way. You own the character you create, and I think that's the experience that you would get. And this group come with it from Afike. We did like so many shows with this gentleman, directed by Dr. Bugaro Portfolio. And yeah, man, it's just great to see what the man has achieved and just the roles that he's managed to play, because he played every role so beautifully. So it's just great that we could honor him. So the Groko Parasamika just a slide from Silent Voice, and I'm going to call Chuck, Melo, and Zeto. This is like Kovetsa's like old best friend for now. Yeah, man. So
how many positions are selected in a beauty pageant? Beauty what? Pageant, which are the context. How many referees do we have in a soccer match? 1 and 2 linesmen. How many? 3. How many counts determine the win in a wrestling bout? 3. Up to how much can I count? 3. How many sides make a triangle? 3 sides. How many dots indicate that speech still goes on? 3, Charlie. The psychological window of a human being is divided into how many parts? 3 parts, Charlie. How many parts is your birthday divided, Charlie? Day, month, and year, Charlie. How many? 3. Your death date? 3, Charlie. What? As a person should what's going on? 2 plus 1 makes 3, Charlie. Why, Charlie? Because 21 is the third branch of Eastern years. 7 years of and 7 years of what? Charlie? In a well of fire.
Yes. How many of you are about to come on stage, Charlie? How many? 3, Charlie. So this man, he was the drummist on the show Silent Voice. The men in Mono Nashapari dance and say, we went to head out together and then it's a so Charlie 1, Charles, Cooperative for stage just to all our men. As this is the foundation where so Charlie, to it's our hello matches are moments of the show, Charlie. Here.
In my church, she's announced to us forever. I can prepare any speech because I didn't want to, but because I just couldn't. I'm going to be very brief. I won't say much about the life we shared. Lecturers, because I'll take forever. Maraki, Mama, Askis, Kaizia, Hunama, Masuela, Akailan, or Enya, but Askis. To Charlene and the boys, Nai. To Gary, Skido, How, Askis. And to the fans, friends, in the industry at large, we lost a giant, an artistic genius, but the show must go on. And to Tobeza, magnifique, le tigre, le rice, what it is. Past 8 days with the illness, where nothing was working. Well, really, no, none of this making sense to me. You welcome a colleague or a friend. To me, you are like a brother. Father. But hey, so rest in peace, Father. Till we meet again. It's enough.
Dumelang. Kali ngizama tsaka khawani. Tsebele phata sa device ku kumbe instrument endzeni dzabantu bashiyana ngwenza bale. How many are we? No, it's true. We are 3. Kere ba family le metswalle ne ke re mmotse ha tsamaya o na le rena ke thato ya modimo ya gore yena a mme go yena a tshwanetseng gore a nne go teng le go nne se nako mara go ne se se nang nako ntse e le nako a ke tlo bua thata ka gore pelo ya ka e a kitso nka tswela pele ke re ka se kuka botlhoko thata le di robala ka khotso.
I've already spoken to Mafiki, so I can't go in but I'll say 2 things as part of the things that I omitted from saying because of the time constraints of Mafiki. First, Tobetsa na connect anyone, whether you're a corporate figure, you are a diplomat, you are a president, whatever, to the layman on the street. That's what I remember him with. I remember there was a point, so there was a time at the flight, I can't remember where we were coming from, because he had felt already, he wanted to talk and just, I was like, dude, I need to sleep, bro. And then there was a man sitting there, an old man, he just wanted to buy a book. He went there, I was like, oh no. This guy's just trying to enjoy whatever he's eating, and he's probably in his 70s, he wants peace. And he went there, and I thought, it's not going to end well. And so I remember him saying, he told him he was an architect or something, and then he said to him, so what do you do to calm yourself down? And that guy just took the book and folder and just listened to the rest. That just shows how, it's like the energy and then the second thing is that the last few weeks before I was on it was just, we used to have a lot of courageous conversations about I can't always weekend, just recruit a fella and just I think we've had our fun, let's say responsibility and so all I can say is that Tobetsa, boy, sleep in massive peace.
I don't know when with it because I was not scheduled to speak here. I'd rather speak more initially because there's a lot to talk about, there's a lot to reflect on. I don't even know what to say right now, but what I can say to the family, Shalain, don't worry. We had a chat and we wondered, and we had said to me, Zemzo, don't ever forget there's kids. And I said to you, Shalain, don't worry, I am here. Mama Chwekeyagae, I've been so born ever since I got the call to hold it from a distance. Can I know your work? Lift up what's at the meeting. The Kaiti sort of better. I just want to say to press, we shall meet. Yeah. And there we may rehearse most obscenely and most courageously. Take pains, be perfect. Adieu.
We were well rehearsed in Shakespeare. That's right. That's from a Midsummer Night's Dream, in case you don't know. Wrote singing and you know. So I'm going to call friends Tsotsi, Ewemo, Lisa Vandalona, the Toholatana, and Salona, Moratamo, Tohopare, Rantidema, Capania, Atohora biography, Yamonova Rona. Kita pada sekarang saya nak pergi Timor dia yang ada fasilitas sekarang ada.
Gimana? Dekat. Tadi. Raitu mereka rena, kofiwa opportunity apa tak buat kacunnya. It's with a heavy heart and deep respect that I stand here before you today to pay tribute to my brother, a friend, Tobetsa. Tobetsa, in Tobetsa was a brother. Tobetsa le motho wa batho.
and Tobeta Zanga Tupola. Una Pella anyone, Wako Banale. And the kind of thing that I'm going Ponopona we suffer Martobeta. Oh, I am blender in most situations, sometimes you want to compromise. Utene mu pleki ni mwele no abona marpleki ya mona ki. Martobeta sna taba no ka bani busy ashika matsohole batho. I type that anyone asa tokole from mango wa kuitso fetsa. So really more today the victor really chunza Martobeta. Lo kumota familia Martobeta, mama, Shalei, Levana, and everyone, the boys. The home thing, Apala everyone, like one of what we ever saw for it, like Tobeta, in any one Tobeta is special too much. And what made Tobeta special was not just his talent. And yes, he was talented. His talent was unmatched. It was his heart. He never looked down on anyone. He could walk into any space, from the most glamorous event to the most humble street corner, and make everyone feel seen. Either way, Tobeta Naregate. Onasa Topuli play. Asa Topuli play, Monga sitting, pushing you, Unata for the thing. That's a number of Nasa. It is a rattle Mutina, and it's for me to want and then before me, Ungalebala. It's not too much. Tobeta, una hate the drugs like. Una hate the drugs. As a part of we associate that they drugs like. Una so obviously when you have a way, see who most definitely the youngsters start on a direction. Maragawe na fere ni simu tule direction na di tabline na wa kunchi fikira ka ba na tabline ban ba ta putena tuye na ba tsene dilo tsa bona tuye na mara he wasn't for that in ile mo tona di jine le blind ana the respect there for everyone na sala to sinyetsa o people I'm proud to have called him my friend. Proud to have shared laughter, tears, long walks, and countless memories with a man who remained true to himself no matter how far he rose. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit.
That was the words that I used to share with my friend. Now, earlier on they had asked all the actors to actually stand up. Now I would like to turn things around a bit and ask all those friends outside the artistic fraternity to please stand up. Now, these are the people, but that's a little bit on daily basis. I would say these are the people that need to better than anyone. acting was his job, his career. But we lived with the guy on daily basis. We know him inside out. I would just like to say, Mama, Shalane, the comfort is not only from the actors or from that particular fraternity, but you have other friends that you know where you find comfort. And with those words, I would like to say to my friend, rest in peace, Mutswala Waka, till we meet again. Thank you.
Kita pun ada lima rakyat semua actors are present. Lagi di mana di sana kita tahu cuma di mana di sana, Ya, ada ketika muncul bahawa itu itu. Ada juga mungkinnya kalau kita boleh bala semua bahawa itu. Dari semua menjual this kenapa coba bawa meeting from a distance saja. Apa meeting kalau nak bayar orang meeting so kita boleh sesuatu apa itu itu. Then immediately after that, there's a letter from Shalane, vote of thanks that I'm going to do immediately after this. Presley Chwekeyagae was born on October 19, 1984 in Mahikeng, Northwest Province, South Africa. Named after his mother's favorite singer, Elvis Presley, he was encouraged from a young age to pursue acting as a means to avoid a life of hardship. He began attending children's drama classes at the age of 10 through the Northwest Arts Council. Now it's called the Mabana Arts, Culture and Sports Foundation. His passion for acting led him to further training under stage director Umpumelelo Paul, where he honed his skills in various theatrical productions. Chwekeyagae's acting journey commenced in community theatre, where he showcased his versatility in numerous stage productions. His notable productions or performances include roles in Shakespearean plays such as Hamlet, Julius Caesar, and A Midsummer's Night's Dream. He also co-wrote and starred in the acclaimed stage play Relativity, which received international recognition and was later published as a book. His commitment to theatre remained evident throughout his career, including directing the award-winning play called Cell Number 4. Chwekeyagae gained international acclaim with his debut feature film role as a lead in Tsotsi. This was in 2005, and it was directed by Devon Hood. The film, based on Ethel Fugak's novel, tells the story of a young gang leader transformation after he inadvertently kidnaps a baby. Tsotsi won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film in 2006, marking a significant milestone for South African cinema. Following Tsotsi, he appeared in several films including More Than Just a Game, State of Violence, Africa United, Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. In television, Chwekeyagae was best known for his role as Tuso Kobrisi Mokoena, in the popular South African telenovela called The River, which aired from 2018 until 2024. His portrayal earned him critical acclaim and multiple awards. He also featured in other TV productions such as 90 Plain Street and Judas Vine. Chwekeyagae's consistent portrayal of Shoes across the Inamba franchise highlights his ability to bring depth and authenticity to complex characters, solidifying his status as a prominent figure in South African cinema. Throughout his illustrious career, Chwekeyagae received numerous accolades. Tsotsi won Best Foreign Language Film at the 78th Academy Awards. Black Movie Awards, there he got Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role for Tsotsi. Best Actor for Tsotsi at the Bangkok International Film Festival. Best Actor for Tsotsi at the Monza International Film Festival of Love Films. For the South African Film and Television Awards, he got Best Actor, Feature Film for Tsotsi 2006, got Best Actor, Telenovela for The River in 2019, and he was nominated for Best Actor for a telenovela for The River in 2020 and 2021. For the Royal Soapy Awards, he got Outstanding Lead Actor for The River. Mushaple Matoko. Beyond his acting career, Chwekeyagae was dedicated to mentoring aspiring artists and was involved in initiatives aimed at uplifting disadvantaged communities through the performing arts. He founded the Presley Foundation, which focuses on helping poor communities in South Africa using the performing arts. The foundation reaches out to people from disadvantaged places and backgrounds nationwide, especially in rural areas, by uplifting aspiring actors through workshop and street talks by professional performers. On May 27, 2025, Presley Chwekeyagae passed away at the age of 40 due to respiratory complications. His death was met by widespread mourning and tributes poured in from across the nation. Presley Chwekeyagae's journey from community theatre to international acclaim stands as a testament to his talent, dedication, and the power of storytelling. His legacy continues to inspire actors and audiences alike. So now we go on letting people just from the family, from Chalet, the people that have been there, the people by since vote of thanks on behalf of Chalet and Chwekeyagae. The hospital, CPTA, West Hospital, the community of Esther Park for your support, the South African Youth Movement Foundation, the Morgan Mothala Foundation, My Soul Foundation, the South African State Theatre, standing ovation, Mr. Aubrey Sekhabi, particularly Mr. Aubrey Sekhabi, for being a father figure to the late Presley, a role model in the art industry. He played a mentorship role which made him to unleash his full potential. I'd like to thank Tsotsi Pictures, Principal Pictures, MLA, that's his agency, the agency that represented him, Tabiso, the funeral planner, for his ability to plan the entire flow of events and ensuring that everything goes as planned. I'd like to pause there. When we started this celebration, this memorial service, we had a bit of a problem, seating arrangements and stuff like that. We're trying to control people to come in. Please don't blame Taiso, don't blame us, don't blame the State Theatre. This man was loved so much. Everyone wants to be here. The family from Swaziland, I'd like to apologize to you. I know you came so far to come and support Chalet, to come and celebrate the memory of Presley Chwekeyagae, and some of you didn't find like sitting arrangements were tough. Sorry. The agency, MLA, the artists that came that were on the list that couldn't find sitting, sorry. The giant has fallen and a lot of people came to support him. Now we know that on Saturday we need to be prepared. Now we know that tomorrow when people come and pay their last respects at the house, what we need to do, we need to extend our capacity. Just wanted to apologize there because I know some people were very angry because they couldn't see it. They're standing and they come from far and they want to support. The Cartel Funeral Home and Cartel Events and Catering Team From the drivers, to the morticians, to the decor team, chefs, graphic designers, the media team for their outstanding contributions for Presley's memorial and funeral service. Now I'm speaking as Shalane. She says, I want to thank my mother-in-law, Mama Agnes Yahile, for your undying support. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Allen and Rose Kirk, for being there throughout. My brother-in-law, Yoboni Chwekeyagae. My sister-in-law, my sister Ndumiso, for being my pillar of strength and my go-to girl during this difficult time. Businyoni, Edinyoni, and Mzwakes Buddha for their support. My entire Eswatini family, Yankama Banda, Masuku, the list is endless, but I am truly grateful for the support you have shown me. Flora Makashula and family for their undying support. I'd also like to thank our MCs for the stellar job. Thank you. This is from Shalane Chwekeyagae. Thank you so much.
Nginibingelele kamsa kwethu kuzo zonke indawo la ukuhambe kwafinyelela khona lo mbukiso loyo-ke bokuwumngcwabo kaTsotsi insizwa yaduma ngegama elithi Tsotsi, but igama layo langempela uPresley yaduma kwimuvi eyayibizwa ngeTsotsi, nayo yase yaziwa kakhulu ngokuthi Tsotsi. Njengoba sazi ukuthi idlulile emhlabeni ngemva kokubambeka nje okuncane okuthiwa imane yangakwazi ukuphefumula kahle, yase iphuthunyiswa esibhedlela, nokuyilapho efike yaphangalala khona-ke. Lana bokuyi-memorial service yakhe yesibili ebeyenziwe. Thina nje sithi umoya wakhe ungalala ngokuthula. Danki, siyabonga. Ungakhohlwa ukusubscribe, ulike, ushare kuyo yona le channel. Danki, siyabonga.